Hello, period 4. Today's notes is over solving one-step equation. This should be easy peasy. You guys should have been able, or you guys should have been introduced to this last year. Today's lesson's very easy. However, I want to go over the basics because when we start adding in fractions and decimals and positive and negative integers, on the next lesson, then you will know how to show your steps. So today mostly is about showing the correct steps, showing your work, checking your work. So I know the answers are easy, but again, it's going to get harder, so you need to be able to know how to solve the problems, how to show your steps. Okay, first step, when we are solving one-step equations, we always use the inverse operation. So in this chart up here, obviously go ahead and fill out the inverse of addition is subtraction. The inverse of subtraction is addition. The inverse of multiplication is division. The inverse of division is multiplication. Okay, so the rules is we're always going to write the original equation. We always use the inverse operation to isolate the variable. What's the word isolate? By itself. Get the variable by itself. What's the variable? The letter. You're always solving for A, you're solving for B, you're solving for X, Y, Z, whatever the variable is. Okay, we're going to show all our steps. We're going to be neat. We are going to show cancellations and show work out to the side. We are going to check our answer and we're going to box our answer. Okay, so we've got 8 that we're going to do together. And then after the video, go to Canvas. There is another worksheet underneath for practice for today. Okay, so again, these are easy peasy problems, but today is all about showing how we're showing our works in each step. So number 1 says x plus 3 is 11, or something plus 3 is 11. The objective is to get that variable, the x, by itself, to isolate it. To do that, instead of adding 3, you use the inverse operation. So we're going to subtract 3 from both sides. I'll need to see that work. I need to see the cancellation. A positive 3 minus 3 is 0, leaving me with x. I just isolated the variable, and we're solving on the right. 11 minus 3 is 8. We're going to box our answer, and yes, we're going to check our work. We just said that 8 was x, so we're going to put we're going to put 8 back in for x. So out to the side, I want to see 8 plus 3 is 11. It checks out. Okay, again, we know the answer was correct. We knew the answer before even solving the problem. However, we're going to get into fractions and decimals, and we're going to have to show how to show the work for these problems. Number 2, it says y plus 14 is 231, or something plus 14 is 231. Do the inverse. Instead of adding 14, we're going to subtract 14 from both sides, isolating that variable to get y by itself. We'll borrow to get 217, box our answer, and then we're going to put 217 back in for y. So 217 plus 14 better be 231. And it is. It checks out. Okay. Number 3. Something minus 21 is 402. We're going to do the inverse of subtracting 21, which is adding 21 to both sides. A negative 21 plus 21 is 0. So I isolated the variable. We can add on the right. 423. And then we're going to put the answer back in for what we just said f was. 423 minus 21 does equal 402, so it checked out. Number 4. Something minus 99 is 596. The inverse of adding, or the inverse of subtracting 99 is adding 99 to both sides. A negative 99 plus 99 is 0, so those cancel out, leaving me with my p, the variable. We'll add on the right to get 695. And then let's make sure that makes sense. Put 695 back in to the problem. We're subtracting 99, and we better get 596. And we do. It checks out. Okay. Number 5. We know that a number next to a letter means multiplication. So 4 times something is 60. The inverse of multiplication is division. So we're going to write the division problem like this. On the left, 4 divided by 4 is 1D. Okay. 60 divided by 4 is 15. And then we're going to check our work, put 15 back in for D. 15 times 4 is 60. Check. Number 6. 13 times something is 156. A number next to a letter means multiplication, so I'm going to do the inverse and divide both sides by 13. 13 divided by 13 is just 1. And then I'm going to do 156 divided by 13 to get 12. Box my answer. And then check my work. Put 12 back in for 13. So 13 times 12 needs to be 156. And it is. Check. Okay. And then the last two, this says something divided by 11 is 33. The inverse of dividing by 11 is multiplying by 11. Leaving me with z, and I'm going to multiply this side by 11. We get 363, and then we're going to prove it, make sure it makes sense. Put 363 back in for z. So 363, we are dividing by 11, and hopefully we get 33. If so, we did it correctly. It checks out. And then number 8, something divided by 9 is 81. Instead of dividing by 9, we're going to multiply this side by 9. We're going to multiply this side by 9. 81 times 9. Oh, what just happened? Sorry, I pushed something. Is 729. And then double check our work. I have, turn my phone off, sorry. And then I'm putting 729 back in for C. Dividing by 9. 9 times 8 is 72. 9 and a 9 is 1. So I actually want you showing all of the steps, guys, okay? I want you showing the inverse operation, the cancellation, boxing your answer, substituting your answer back into the problem, and proving it, checking your work. So if you look at all of my notes in purple and red, it's a lot of work. Even though we knew most of those answers before we started, I want to see every single step. Okay? Go back into Canvas, and there is a work